department on finding a solution so that it is consistent with the government's direction of reform.
Question number 12, Kris Faafoi.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Police and reads, does she agree with the issues raised by the 2013 Police Association survey referred to in the July edition of Police News? If not, why not?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, this was a survey of union members and I agree.
Order.
And I agree that unions will always say they need more resources. However, I was very pleased to see that the survey showed that under the previous Labor government, police were more concerned about frontline resourcing. And to aid the House, I've provided the graph. In 2008, 69% of those surveyed felt that additional resources were required in frontline general duties.
Point of order, Right Honourable Order. There's a point of order, Right Honourable
Mr Speaker, the Minister's been going for some time, to the extent she's now referring to a chart. The question talks about issues raised by the 2013 Police Association survey, and she's straight back to 6-7 years ago, and that cannot be relevant.
No. Order. Speaking to the point of order, the Honourable Anne Tolley.
Speaking to the point of order, if the member looked at the survey that the question is about, it actually has the chart in there. I have just reproduced it for the House, Mr Speaker.
Yeah, the Minister can continue with her answer using the chart if it's being used.
Don't like.
Point of order, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
The Minister might have difficulty grasping this, but it begins, does she agree with the issues raised? Now, the issues raised are the issues raised in the 2013 survey. They may well have a chart,
that's right,
but she's not getting to the subject.
Order. And the Minister's saying that this issue was raised within that survey. Minister can continue her answer.
Continue. This chart shows that in 2008, 69% of frontline police, 69 felt that additional resources were required. That has fallen under national to 61%.
Order. Order.
This government
We've got that's a sufficient answer from the Minister. Supplementary question, Kris Faafoi.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. What will she do?
Order. Order. The member can start the question again.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. What will she do? What is her message to police and New Zealanders that 44% of the close to 4,000 Police Association members surveyed say that restructuring within police has led to worse efficiency and effectiveness and has had a negative effect on the police's ability to serve the public?
Well,
Honourable Anne Tolley.
Speaker, actually what this survey says, that 60% of the union members say that the restructuring, 4 years of restructuring, which has only just finished, this being rolled out this month, 60% of the union members are saying either that it's created more efficiencies, or that it's remained the same, or that it's too soon to tell. 60% of them.
Supplementary question, Richard Prosser.
That's right.
Order. Order. I've called Richard Prosser for a supplementary question. Order. Well, I think that just goes to say the difficulty that's been created by the level of noise. Richard Prosser, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister. How can rural New Zealanders have confidence that, when in need, the police have enough staff to respond in a timely manner, given the 2013 Police Association members' survey has the drop in staffing as its #1 issue?
Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, as I say, the police have been through 4 years of unprecedented change, and particularly in the last 12 months, there have been backroom police jobs through restructuring, through HR and finance and case management have gone. I think it's perfectly explainable that people will be concerned about staff. But the reality is that crime is at a 30-year low, including in rural areas. My own area of Gisborne has seen an unprecedented drop in recorded crime of over 10%. So whatever's happening in the police is certainly working, and New Zealanders are certainly feeling safer in their homes and out in their communities.
Supplementary question, Kris Faafoi.
Thank you very much, Speaker. What will she do? What is her message to police staff and to New Zealanders, given that 61% of the 4,000 Police Association members surveyed believe that shortages of frontline staff and non-sworn support staff are, quote, the areas of police being most at risk of service failure because of recent cuts and efficiencies?
Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, I refer the member back to the chart that I started with. The reality is that they may well be 61% now, but under the Labor government it was at 69%. So actually they're much happier under a national-led government.
Supplementary question, Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Order.
Does the Minister concede that the drop in staff numbers has put public safety in rural areas at risk? And does she agree with one Police Association member who said staffing numbers need to continue increasing, especially in the smaller areas?
Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, no, I don't agree, because frontline policing numbers haven't dropped. In fact, this government has added an extra 600 frontline police. In fact, in addition to that, 70% increase in foot patrols, so our police are far more visible out in the communities. I think under this government we have seen crime at a 30-year low, and that has made our communities much, much safer.
Supplementary question, Kris Faafoi.
Can the Minister assure the New Zealand public that their safety and the service they receive will not suffer, given that just 6% of Police Association members believe the restructuring has been effective, while 62% believe that the restructuring has made things worse or made no improvement at all?
Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, the figures that I think tell the real tale is the independent survey of public satisfaction and confidence in our police, which are at an all-time high of,
Point of order.
Point of order. I'm asking the Minister specifically about this survey, and she's bringing in another survey. So
no, the member, if the member reflects on the question asked, it was, can the Minister assure the New Zealand public? And then went on to take, and the Minister's very adequately using another survey which reflects, in her opinion, public confidence in the police. So the Minister can certainly continue that answer.
Thank you for the question, because public confidence and satisfaction is at an all-time high of 87%.
Supplementary question, Kris Faafoi. Order. Order, Kris Faafoi.
Bitter Bill. Does she take responsibility for these major concerns in the survey and in the police ranks, given the Minister has closed 15 police stations, cut the opening hours of a further 12, one station is no longer open to the public? The Police 10-1 magazine shows monthly sworn resignations are skyrocketing. There were 155 fewer sworn police than this time last year. There are 191 fewer police support staff than this time last year. And her own estimates figures show a real cut in funding of $113 million over the next 4 years.
Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, I really refute all of those assertions that member has made. But I don't understand why Labor continues to run down our police. I can understand why police are much happier under a national-led government and crime is at an all-time low than when they had a Labor government, when crime actually went up.
Point of order, Kris Faafoi.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table a document obtained under the Official Information Act showing that 15 police station closures have happened since January 2009.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is none. It can be tabled. Point of order, Kris Faafoi.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. I seek leave to table my graph. Prepared.
Order! Order! This is a point. Order! This is a point of order.
You see it all right? I seek leave to table this graph prepared by the Parliamentary Library showing the monthly average of police staff resignations since January 2009.
Leave is sought to table that graph. By Mr Faafoi.
Explanation, Mr Speaker, is that
Order.
there
Order. That's not a point of order. The Leavers sought to table it. I'm asking whether the House wishes that document to be tabled. Is there any objection? There is objection. There is objection.
Point of order.
Point of order, Honourable Anne
Point of order, Mr Speaker. I seek leave to table this graph from the Police Association showing police are happy.
Leavers sought to table. Is there any objection? Yes, there is. Supplementary question, Kris Faafoi.
Does she agree with the New Zealand Herald editorial on Saturday, June 29, which read, Mr Faafoi says claims that the police are more accessible than ever before seem a little far-fetched in communities that lose their stations, and then went on to say it's hard to disagree.
Honourable Anne Tully.
Mr Speaker, I don't agree with any of Christopher Faafoi's press releases. They are works of fiction.
Come to questions. Order. Point of order, the Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I need to correct an answer I gave to an earlier question.
Order. So you're seeking leave to correct an answer. Is there any objection to that course of action?
Mr Speaker, in response to a question from David Bennett regarding public assets, I said that Albania does not have any partially privatised companies. I'm advised, in fact, that it does have mixed ownership companies. We can't find a single country where the Labor policy is in place. Order. I'm trying to hear a point of order,
Mr Speaker.
From the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, I think I'm making the same point of order that my colleague was making before he stood up. Mr Speaker, ministers get permission to correct answers when they are factually inaccurate and not to make cheap political points. So if they...
Order. This is a point of order.
If the process of giving consent is to continue and give leave, we will need some assurances from the Leader of the House that that does not happen again.
And from the point of view of raising the point of order, the point of order was raised, it was put to the House then accepted that the Minister would correct an answer. As I understood it, he was correcting something which was factually incorrect in the substantive answer earlier. It is certainly unhelpful then to add the political connotations and may lead to difficulties where leavers sought to correct an answer and in fact may not be given. Question to members. Mulia